Okay, so here's my chicken. It's been cleaned. If you see any feathers, you take them off, and I do see some. Yeah, my eyesight is kind of bad, so if y'all see something, tell me. Oh, I see a good bit on this one. But you want to make sure you get all that off. I might have to probably invest in me a brush that I use strictly for my chicken, because my eyesight is bad. But I like to continue to clean my chicken until the water that comes from it is clear in the sink. Now, some people put Italian seasoning in their chicken. Italian, let me show you what I'm talking about. Some people use the zesty Italian rub. I mean, use this as like a marinade or whatever. I have used it, and but right now and you'll see on some of my past videos, but what I do is when I bake chicken, I pour the broth off, let it sit, the fat, and I'll show y'all, the fat comes to the top. You want to strain that fat, take that fat out. And I have found this thing because one sexy Tina was talking about it. This is a thing here. I got it on Amazon. You use this to you pour your liquid off your chicken in here, and the fat gonna rise to the top, and you can pour, and the fat remain in the cup thing here. If I don't forget, I'll show y'all. I'm doing a lot today, but anyway. So this is what my chicken looks like clean. So what I use, the things I use for my chicken: regular salt. Yes, this has salt in it, but what regular salt does is, think of it like this. An analogy for me is I have dry skin. So when I get out of the tub, if I put on lotion, within 2 hours, I'm going to look like I haven't. So before I apply any lotion to my skin, I have to use Vaseline first, because Vaseline penetrates, salt penetrates. Everything else sits on the top of your food, if that makes sense. Like when you're having a crawfish boil, you'll see people put all that crawfish seasoning, and it's something is missing. To me, this is an important step, because just like when you do your mashed potatoes, you want to salt your water for your mashed potatoes and also for your rice. Now, if you're a person that can't use salt, you might want to try a salt substitute. I shouldn't be using much, and I don't. What I was told at a young age, after I had my first daughter, I was still in high school, the doctor told me, and it may have changed, stuff changed. That was 30-some years ago. But what he said is, season your food with the salt while it's cooking, but don't add salt after the food is completed. So you understand what I'm saying? So and that's what I do. But anyway, so I have salt. That's a little history on that. Found this, and listen, I'm gonna tell you something about me. When I use something I'm not the originator of, I'm gonna give credit. And you understand that's why people I understand about copyright now. People will take your idea and use it and claim it as their own. And let me tell you something though. If you don't do things with good intentions and you profit from it, you're not going to profit long, because give people their credit. I mean, it's not going to dim your light to make somebody else's light shine by just being honest. Well, how I found about this rotisserie chicken, I had how I found out about this rotisserie chicken seasoning is working in the kitchen at church, and we have a guy that works back there with us. Well, he hadn't in a while, but anyway, he used to work offshore as a cook, and he and this other guy, both of them chefs or whatever, but he told me about this, and y'all, this is so good. But where I messed up when I used it, I didn't use anything but this, so it was kind of bland. So you have to use your other seasonings and this. You could be a little light with your cayenne pepper or whatever, but the ingredients in here is, let me see if I can let y'all see it: salt, onion, spices, paprika, garlic, and citric acid. But it is really, really good. I like it. And the big one like this, I actually got this off Amazon. Granulated onion powder. I don't like the onion dust because that's what I call it. It's dusty. The granulated garlic. And my favorite black pepper comes from McCormick. I'm sorry, Members Mark. This is comparable to, remember they had the Watkins people used to come around in the old days and they would sell that black pepper. This is comparable to that in my opinion. Not as good, but close. And this is cayenne pepper that I actually have in this onion powder thing because I have a big jar, but it doesn't have the pouring spout like this on it. You just open it and you just subject to game. Everything just blurt out. But anyway, so that's what I have. So I'm going to start off with salt. Just regular old salt. And you don't have to use a lot. But remember, this is going to penetrate it. Y'all keep my hands in water. And you know, like sometimes y'all see me on here. Oh, my favorite. Y'all know something I forgot. Tell me what it is. I know some of y'all know what I missed. This my baby here. I gotta have it. Got to have it. I use this on everything but cabbage. For me, cabbage, I don't like this on cabbage. That may sound crazy, but that's just me. Okay, now what you want to be careful about is using this along with that McCormick. You don't want to use too much. With rotisserie seasoning. I still got my hand in water. That's why I try to keep me some water in the sink as I'm cooking because I'll be washing dishes, washing my hands. The granulated onion powder. Granulated garlic. Black pepper. Yeah, this black pepper make you sneeze, just like that Tony season to make you sneeze too. I'm surprised I haven't. And a little of this cayenne pepper. Okay, told y'all it's coming. I sneezed inside my clothes. I don't know where I got that from. Somewhere I was reading. Okay, so we got all that. Something else I found. Strong Mommy Chrissy here on YouTube. This kicking chicken. I like this, but it's something in here I don't want to have in my dressing. I don't even know what it is. I can't remember. But it's good too. But I'm not putting it on this. So usually I just take my chicken and put it, all of my seasonings, do one side, then do the other one. But I like to rub it in too. The seasonings in. And I'm going to tell you something else. You don't want to take your food from out of the refrigerator into the grill or to the oven or whatever, because it's going to make your meat, it's not going to be tender. It kind of shocks it, if you will. That don't look like no seasoning. You can use paprika. The reason why I don't use paprika is because it's already in its rotisserie seasoning. And so I want to go ahead and put a little bit more of the rotisserie seasoning on here. Again, if you want to use that, I just like the color that this gives it. If you want to use that, put your zesty Italian, you want to do that first, rub it in, you know, like a marinade. You know, we assume people know, but a lot of people don't know. I watch videos of people didn't know that there is the gizzards and stuff in the inside cavity of a chicken. So we don't assume people know. One of my first bad cooking experiences, I was with my mom, and I remember we were getting ready to do something with ground beef, and she had gone to put clothes in the washer or dryer, and our utility closet was inside our carport. Some of y'all probably call it a garage. I'm in Louisiana, we call it a carport. And when she come back, guess what? I was washing the ground meat. She's like, you don't wash that. She didn't fuss at me or anything, but I could tell she was like, I mean, it was saved. You know what I'm saying? We were still able to use and do what we wanted to do, but I learned from that. But I should have waited to ask, you know. So I like to wipe around the surface, the perimeter of my stuff. Okay, but anyway, so I'm going to let this just sit. And then, just let it marinate for a little bit, about 30 minutes now. What we normally do, like we cook at church, what we normally do, we'll go ahead and come in a day or two ahead and go ahead and season the chicken and everything and let it stay in the refrigerator with the seasoning on it. And then the guy that comes and when we bake chicken, he'll come and get it and bake it for us. But, you know, you allow that seasoning. So, like, if you have an event and you cater, go ahead and get your chicken and season it up a couple of days. Let me tell you something that's real good to store stuff in. I don't have any. I will show you. You know how you go to the store and you get the gallon freezer bags? Well, they also sell a 2-gallon. They call it jumbo. You could all this chicken will fit in one of those jumbo bags, and this is 10 pounds. So say if you're gonna do a case of chicken, you would probably need 4 of those bags. Very, very good for when you when you want to marinate large portions of meat, especially if you're doing any catering work. Okay, so anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let this sit. And what's on the menu today? We're doing something I don't cook very often. We're doing some Camellia Pinto beans. This brand is very, very, very good. So if you can find this brand in your stores, it's made right. I think they're from Harahan, Louisiana. New Orleans, Louisiana. But anyway, this is the best brand of beans in my opinion. Okay? Alright, I'll be back, y'all. Hey, y'all, so see all the broth at the bottom of the chicken? Now, if you would put this in like a cookie sheet or something like that, you wouldn't get all that broth. But because this is covered up, some people say it looks like it's oven boiled. No, it's not boiled because you don't have water. It's oven baked. But when you cover it, it causes the moisture to be released. And so this is what I'm beginning to cook. Like, I'll use the broth from this for like chicken pot pie. I add a little bit of this for chicken and dumpling. I use it especially for my dressing, gumbo, things like that. Because you already got the chicken broth. Like, you can purchase broth, but it won't have the seasoning. So that's why I do it this way. And I am going to pour that broth off. Alright, so here's my chicken. And the last 3 minutes, all you do is just put it under the broiler. And that's what I did. And that's it. That's the chicken.